Guys, this is Marc Goldberg from Marc Vlogs Watches along with Jupiter, and I want to give you a couple of quick reasons you might want to skip this video. First, if you don't like kitty cats, this is Jupiter, 18 years old, deaf and very talkative, my spirit animal. If you don't like cats, you're going to want to skip this video. If you don't like gossip, rumors, and juicy stories, you might want to skip this video. If you are annoyed by espionage, if you don't like Rolex, if you really don't care about anybody's opinion other than your own, you might want to skip this video. But before we go any further, I'd like to thank you for joining me on this expedition that we are taking together along with Jupiter. I would like to thank you for contributing to the Feed Jupiter Fund by liking and subscribing, and also support the channel by buying Let Dogs Be Dogs, my book, which is in bookstores everywhere. Now, as you may know, I recently posted a video in which I revealed that I had a source within Rolex, or actually I should say I had a source who had a source within Rolex. I know it's all very crazy and cloak and dagger and probably, not very important in the general scheme of things. Nonetheless, kind of juicy for those of us who are interested in a little bit of Rolex inside information. So I will post a link to that video down below, but I warn you, if you watch it, it's a lot of blah, blah, blah and storytelling, and then some people loved it and some people it just pissed them off. If you loved it when your daddy read you bedtime stories and imitated the voice of Fezziwig, well, you'll know what I mean. You'll enjoy that video. Otherwise, you might want to skip it. You've been warned. But jumping into the meat and potatoes of this video, I realize we have to get the quick fist watch check out of the way before Jupiter knocks it off my wrist. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we are jumping directly into the facts. And today I am wearing the 50th anniversary Sea Dweller, which I purchased from James & Son. You might want to get a hold of Rocky or Brian over there in Orland Park, or call the Chicago location. Okay, now let's talk. Okay, so a quick recap of that prior video, just so you know what the letter that I am about to read to you is talking about. We have a report out of somebody who is connected to Rolex deep on the inside, which says that they are currently building a plant, that they are making an effort to be able to increase the number of movements that they make in a year. That will sharply increase, and that supposedly Rolex within 2 years will be releasing a lot more steel sports into the market in order to control gray market prices, which Rolex do not like being so high. Now, a lot of people don't believe that. Also, a lot of people don't care. Nonetheless, I have a reaction from somebody else who is deeply connected to Rolex, whose identity I will protect. And I think that you will find this video and this letter interesting. Okay, so dear Mr. Goldberg, I was interested in your YouTube where you stated that you have a reliable source within Rolex. Unfortunately, this reliable source is giving you false information, and I would seriously question whether he works within the Rolex organization. Well, he doesn't. He is just connected by deep-rooted connections to somebody who is highly placed within the Rolex building. And actually, I have more communication from that guy, and we'll be releasing it shortly. But let's plow forward with what this fellow knows, because he too has a connection deep within Rolex. And frankly, I find this letter interesting, even if it's to confirm and deny certain rumors. I will give you some correct facts surrounding Rolex. Number one, this information is from a family member who is employed with the Rolex organization and works at, and then he says something in French, which I cannot say, Les Acacias. I will put right here the words that I've been given in French, and this is where this guy's family member, the letter writer, where his family member works. Number two, Rolex have no intention of building another distribution center or another site to increase any production of their watches. Well, what we were told was that they were building a factory for movements. And as you know, they bought a family-owned movement company that made all of their movements. That's now a wholly owned subsidiary of Rolex itself. So who knows, maybe they're just modernizing the current plant. But we didn't really talk about distribution building. We talked about manufacturing building. Nonetheless, good to know that this letter writer says, production increases are not about to happen. Okay, interesting. And that, by the way, that dovetails very strongly with what I have been suggesting all along. The previous video, which said Rolex will be ramping up production, is something that, quite frankly, I strategically disagree with. Number three, You will be aware that Rolex distributes 1 million watches worldwide every year, and there is no future discussion on increasing that number of watches. I agree, I believe this, and that doesn't tell us how much of the proportion is steel sports, etc. But I think I've been reporting that I believe the Rolex shortage will continue for quite some time to come. Number 4, Rolex does not instruct their authorized dealer to remove any factory stickers from their watches. Neither does Rolex instruct their authorized dealers to withhold the warranty cards. Okay, well that contradicts information that we have had from multiple other sources. So I don't know how that one could be true. The authorized dealers are telling their clients that the Rolex reps have been telling them that they must remove the stickers. And there's a lot of withholding of warranty cards in the UK. And what you're saying is that's not policy. That one's tough to believe. Anybody know anything else about that? Put it in the comments. What were you told when your watch was de-stickered or when your warranty card was withheld? Holding warranty cards back doesn't happen in the United States because we got some consumer protection and warranty laws that don't permit that, but I know it is rampant in the UK. So I'm not sure I believe that one, guy. Number 5. Rolex will and does honor the 5-year warranty on all their watches, and even though the warranty is not transferable by name upon the sale of the watch is still guaranteed under the 5-year warranty, whether it's the original owner or a new owner who purchased the watch as a pre-owned watch. Good to know. There has been a lot of debate in the YouTubes about that one, and I agree. That seems to be the case because I can't find a single instance of somebody who bought the watch on the used market and then did not have their warranty honored. So I trust you on that one. Number 6. Rolex does not instruct or condone their authorized dealers to withhold any of their watches. He's going to talk loud. This is why Jupiter is my spirit animal, because he is old, he is deaf, he cannot hear himself talk, and he likes to talk a lot. So if that goes on, if that yowling continues, he's gone to eat some chicken that I gave him. If that yowling continues, I'll put him on my lap where he's usually quieter. Back to our letter. Number 6, Rolex does not instruct or condone their authorized dealers to withhold any of their watches from the public, and all watches should be placed within the display cabinets. I believe that. And I think the reaction here is to authorized dealers who get the good stuff in and then put it directly in the safe and right away call some of their best customers to come in and pick up stuff that they have waitlisted. I don't think that the waitlist is Rolex corporate policy. I believe it is down to the authorized dealer level. Number 7. Rolex are not withholding their steel sports watches. The production of these watches has decreased in favor of producing more bimetal and gold. Well, isn't that a little contradictory? You say they're not withholding their steel watches, but that they've reduced production of them in order to make more bimetal and gold. So, that point, oh gosh, come here. I'll be right back. Okay, so that point actually does agree with a point in the original spy letter where my source said that they would rather make money on high-priced gold pieces. So I guess I don't disagree. Bimetal does seem to be more available than steel sports. So, have they ramped up bimetal production and correspondingly ramped down steel sports because they can only make so many movements per year? Interesting. Possible theory here. Okay. Number 8, Rolex have not discussed increasing the production of the steel watches and the steel sports watches, and these will be produced long term, but with a decrease in production as stated above. I believe that one. What I said is, and I'll tell you what, I'm gonna put a link in the description of this video to one that I made, which says that my theory is that Rolex is going for Patek level exclusivity by raising up demand and lowering down supply, which will drive up prices. And so that's what I think is happening here, and that point seems to agree with me. Number 9. As well as Rolex producing the steel sports watches, they are still made to order if a potential client requests a certain watch from their authorized dealer. I don't really know what that means. Let's repeat this. As well as Rolex producing the steel sports watch, they are still made to order if a potential customer requests a certain watch from their authorized dealer. So what you're saying is if I go into the authorized dealer and say, hey, put me on the list for a blue steel Sky Dweller, that the authorized dealer says, sure. And it's just like ordering a Ford. They call the factory and have it made up to order. if you are my source and you are watching this, and I know you will be because I will be sending you a link to this video, please clarify point number 9. Thank you. I don't know what that means. If you know what that means, say it in the comments. Point number 9. Okay, point number 10. Rolex employees do have a choice of one watch within their lifetime of being employed, and it would be frowned upon if that watch was sold. Now, that I believe, and I think that that kind of establishes this guy's credentials as somebody somewhat in the know. And the reason I say that is this point agrees precisely, well, almost precisely, with a point in a new letter from the original spy, from the original Deep Throat, which you haven't heard yet, but of which I am in possession. So yeah, that one, I don't know if that's publicly known information, but it agrees with prior information that I have just received, very close anyway, and that in fact the serial number is recorded and it would be deeply frowned upon if that watch were ever sold. Number 11. Do family members get preferential treatment on the purchase of watches? No. We have to go to our local authorized dealer and purchase or order that watch. I believe that. That seems like an egalitarian way to go, that it's not, you know, the old boy network, that the family connections get you nowhere. That I believe. Okay. Jupiter, calm down. Calm down. Number 11. At least he's quiet, but I don't want him to hit the dead mouse microphone. Okay. Number 11. Oh, we did number 11. Number 12. Rolex does not inform its authorized dealers as to any amount of watches they will be receiving. Commonly known information. I've heard that from every AD that I ever talked to. Credible point, but not necessarily inside scoop. Number 13. Rolex does not discuss its future or any internal production with authorized dealers. I believe that to be true, which is why I discount heavily anytime somebody says, my AD said, because how does your AD know? They're not telling the ADs what's happening. Mind you, you know, the authorized dealers get used to the rhythms of Rolex, and so they have predictions. And sometimes those predictions are quite accurate. There is a juicy rumor out there that the Submariner will get a new movement as of Baselworld this year. Just a rumor, but a credible rumor based on prior information and patterns, but not based on direct information from Rolex to the authorized dealer. So I believe that point, but I think it's commonly known. Number 14. Rolex does not encourage any authorized dealer to give any discounts on their watches. Commonly known information. But I'm sure that's true. Number 15. I wear a Tag Heuer. Now, by the way, remember, this guy has a close family member working deep within the organization. I wear a Tag Heuer. Yes, I have a Rolex Submariner, but I purchased mine from an authorized dealer as a member of the public. This information above is factual. Regards. Name redacted. Okay, so there's not a ton of new information here, but like a little bit. And I think the key point is this guy wanted to disagree with the points raised in the earlier spy video, but he actually winds up agreeing with him on some points. Guys, I know this has dragged on a little bit. I hope that you have found some of this information juicy, gossipy. It's definitely useless information, but I hope you have enjoyed spending this time with me. Jupiter would look over there. He always looks angry. Jupiter certainly thanks you for your time as well. Remember, guys, don't baby your Rolex. Feel the steel. This is Goldberg. Peace out.